Ladies and gentlemen, this is really amazing news. I mean, this could be, if not the biggest news of the day, along with the fact that obviously Nancy Pelosi wants nothing to do with the Senate trial because she knows it would be a complete and utter debacle, even more so than the failed impeachment. They impeached a president based on a phone conversation where they had no evidence of their accusations. They had hearsay and gossip from one intelligence operative and then a whole bunch of disgruntled diplomats. President Zelensky stated there was no leverage, no quid pro quo. The president, the leader of the Ukraine, in the phone conversation stated there was no leverage. Marie Yovanovitch, the impeachment witness, a former ambassador, was confirmed under President Obama. She was given talking points about the conflicts of interest that Hunter Biden had with the energy company at the heart of all of this, which is being investigated right now. So by Ukrainian officials. So even President Obama's administration knew of the conflicts of interest and advised diplomats being confirmed to refer any questions about these conflicts of interest to the vice president's office. That's what Maria Ivanovich stated under oath after she stated that she never heard of any issues with the vice president's son. And then, of course, she was, of course, that was a little bit different story, change in testimony that's sometimes called perjury. But anyway, Durham is scrutinizing ex-CIA director's role in Russia interference findings. Want to know why? This is the New York Times. The federal prosecutor investigating the origins of the Russia inquiry is examining testimony by former CIA director John Brennan and seeking his communications records. Wow. Wow. This is amazing news. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing news. And I'll tell you why. Why is this so, monumental? Here's why it's so monumental, okay? I want you to listen to John O'Brien. I can do John O'Brien. I can do Mitch McConnell. I can do Bill Clinton. I can't. Yeah. Just listen to John O'Brien.
Did you find direct evidence of collusion between the Trump campaign and Putin in Moscow while you were there?
Mr. Rooney, I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
Oh, don't worry, John. They don't do evidence either. They do a Steele dossier purchased by Clinton. But let's listen to that again.
I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
Wait, what was that?
FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence throughout the course of my career.
So you mean you can actually gain intelligence without evidence? You can gain important intelligence findings without evidence? Interesting. Is that what they call the Steele dossier? Raw intelligence? Let's listen to this again. We'll read this is the actual statement of a man that Democrats revere, liberals revere, and then they talk about Orwell. No, this is Orwellian. This man is Big Brother. This is an overreaching state telling you what to think. They are literally saying they don't have evidence, but what they have is something called intelligence. Generally, one would assume that intelligence, whether it's the precursor or the justification of a massive military intervention, the interventions, numerous ones that took place under President Bush, Cheney, and Rumsfeld, one would think, ladies and gentlemen, that intelligence is evidence. That's why John Durham wants to look into this, because intelligence was not evidence. And guess what? You need evidence to start a criminal probe. Oopsie. You messed up, didn't you? Oh, I don't do intelligence, I do evidence. What? I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. That's a fine line between intelligence and evidence. It's a thin line between intelligence and evidence.
And Putin in Moscow while you were there?
Mr. Rooney, I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
One more time.
I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
Keep it
never
coming.
was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
One more time.
Agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
What was that?
Prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
Can't hear you.
The prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
What do you mean you don't do evidence, you do intelligence? What does that mean?
Agent, I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence.
I don't do evidence, I do intelligence. Well, John Durham's going to question why you don't do evidence. Because there was a 3-year criminal probe where the United States government was utilized against President Trump. So we're going to find out. The federal prosecutor investigating the origins of Russia inquiries, examining testimony by John Brennan, and seeking his communication records. Yeah, it's going down. December 19, 2019, Washington. The federal prosecutor scrutinizing the Russia investigation has begun examining the role of former Director John Brennan in how the intelligence community assessed Russia's 2016 election interference, where nobody saw Facebook ads and Clinton got the popular vote. How did they interfere in the election if Clinton got the popular vote? And I want to know if it's swing states, I want to know how many people, which Facebook ads influenced which swing states. I want to know when. I want to know how many votes were altered. If you can't give me that, don't say interference. But anyway, John H. Durham, the United States Attorney General leading the investigation, has requested Mr. Brennan's emails, call logs, and other documents from the CIA, according to... Okay, so, he wants to learn what Mr. Brennan told other officials, including the former FBI Director James Comey, about his... Wow. Notorious dossier of assertions. So this is about Comey and his agency's views of a notorious dossier of assertions about Russia and Trump associates. This is the New York Times, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Durham's pursuit of Mr. Brennan's records is certain to add to the accusations that Mr. Trump is using the Justice Department to go after his perceived enemies. Whatever. Honestly, at this point, who cares what they... It's obvious they went after Trump using the presidency, using the government. But it's anything bad for them, you're going after your political opponents. But President Obama didn't go after Trump. How does that work? His Justice Department was autonomous with Attorney General Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton to speak about golf, Brexit, and grandchildren. Do these people really believe their own nonsense? I don't think so. The president has long attacked Mr. Brennan as part of a narrative, a so-called cabal of Obama administration officials who tried to sabotage his campaign. Just because they investigated him based on a dossier Clinton purchased. They're so, weird. Mr. Durham is also examining whether Mr. Brennan privately contradicted his public comments, including a May 2017 testimony to Congress about both the dossier and about any debate among the intelligence agencies over their conclusions on Russia's interference. So what he's going to say is that I didn't perjure myself. I felt it was necessary to look into it. However, I didn't. This is how they think. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how they think. This is why you need to watch this channel and my other channel, because I understand the mentality of these types of really imbeciles. He didn't perjure himself, according to Brennan, even though he was committed the same crime along with Clapper during President Obama's administration. This is the way they think. They didn't perjure them. He didn't perjure himself because he said that he doesn't do evidence. Okay. That's what he's going to say. He's going to say, I didn't perjure myself because, how could I have perjured myself when I told you I didn't have evidence? So good luck trying to sue the FBI or any of the two other intelligence agencies if you were caught up and swept up in, Carter Page is trying to sue the government. The government's going to say, well, we told everyone in the ODNI and DHS reports. Why are you What's the problem? We told everyone that we don't have evidence. We're not certain. We're highly confident. We had to look into it. What did you expect us to do? Not even look into it for 3 years with 34 and 30 plus indictments just out of malice, process crimes? What did you expect us to do? We told you we didn't have evidence. So he might get out of perjury because he might say, he could get out of perjury like he did prior. But I mean, the bigger issue is the U.S. Code 793F. 371. I write about that in the Federalist. Check out my author page below in the pinned comment. I explain how McCabe and Comey should be charged under the U.S. Code 371 statute. I explain that. The issue is if you defraud the United States government based on by utilizing government agencies against their stated purpose, which is what Brennan and Comey did, and Clapper and Strzok and McCabe and all of them, then you've created a big problem. So a really big problem. So here, I know it's annoying. Hold on, let me do my Mitch McConnell for you.
Maybe we should have Clapper. Maybe we should have John O'Brien testify in the Senate. Ladies and gentlemen, that would be amazing if maybe we should have John O'Brien, James B. Comey, Andrew McCabe, and all the homies testify. That would be fantastic. Maybe they know something about Hunter Biden. We don't know.
I don't have it down just yet. Here. Oh, Lord. Okay.
While you were there.
Mr. Rooney, I never was an FBI agent. I never was a prosecutor, so I really don't do evidence. I do intelligence throughout the course of my career. As an intelligence professional, what we try to do is to make sure that we provide all relevant information to the Bureau if there is an investigation underway that they are looking into criminal activity.
He contradicts himself because he doesn't do evidence, he does intelligence, and an investigation into criminal activity is based on evidence. It's not based on hearsay and gossip. You can sift through hearsay and gossip, I guess, but there's supposed to be a predicate crime. There's supposed to be evidence to link a suspect to a crime. They treated President Trump as a suspect because of quote-unquote evidence that Clinton literally purchased. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have all of this taking place. And it's pretty amazing. They're going. It's the 18 U.S. Code 371 statute. You can look it up. If you defraud, they used that during Watergate. They tried to use that against President Trump for collusion, but actually, that's the statute that will be utilized against them. They defrauded the American people by utilizing agencies against the stated purpose of these agencies. That's it. Check it out. I write about it in the Federalist. That's one of my articles. It's below in the pinned comment. Actually, that article is not below, but you have to click on my author page in the Federalist. So click on my author page. Anyway, you know what's hitting the fan, and it ain't good. This is huge news. If you have the New York Times talking about this, it's game over. And this is right. I mean, Mr. Brennan has come, and Mr. Durham cites as he focuses on the intelligence community assessment released in January 2017 that used information, to detail Russia meddling. Yeah, you know what? The intelligence community assessment is not a certainty. An assessment is not a conclusion with certainty. You're assessing something. You're giving your viewpoint. These are all, this is hilarious. And William Barr called the whole thing The president bore the burden of probably one of the greatest conspiratorial theories, baseless theories in American political history. Yes. Well, he knows this. If you've watched this channel for 3 years, you've known everything I've been saying, everything I write about in The Federalist, The Daily Caller. I wrote Debunking the Trump-Russia Myth below. That's in the pinned comment. That's on Amazon. I wrote that in 2017. All of this is coming to fruition. And I will be right about Clinton 2020. I'm the only person also who's been saying Clinton's going to run again. Give me your thoughts below. John Brennan just met John Durham, and it ain't pretty. Give me your thoughts. This is amazing, amazing, amazing news. Give me your thoughts. Thank you.